wake up every morning feeling like something is missing. You scroll through your phone and you see women chasing after men who barely give them attention, while you sit there ignored, overlooked, pouring effort into conversations that go nowhere, waiting hours for replies, trying harder and harder, only to get less respect. And it eats at you because deep down, you know you're doing everything society told you to do. Be nice, be available, show your emotions, be open. But the results are brutal. Women don't take you seriously, other men don't respect you, and you feel invisible in a world where you desperately want to be seen. That's your reality to the T, and here's the truth most will never tell you. The harder you try to impress, the weaker you look, because attraction is not about noise, it is about presence. And the men who command respect without effort are not the ones chasing approval. They are the ones who have mastered the art of being silently attractive. So if you want to stop being the man who gets overlooked, if you want to stop handing away your power, if you want to walk into a room and feel people notice without you saying a word, this is where it begins. These 11 habits are not theories, they are not gimmicks, they are timeless principles that will transform your life if you apply them, and by the end of this, you will understand why silent attractiveness is the most powerful form of presence a man can build. Comment below, "I'm building presence," to lock this in, and let's get started. Number 1. Detach from validation. Every man knows the feeling of living for approval. You wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone, waiting for someone to text you back, waiting for likes, waiting for confirmation that you matter. You walk into a room and scan faces, desperate for acknowledgement, watching every expression, every reaction, and adjusting yourself so people don't reject you. You go on dates and your whole mindset is, does she like me? Did I say the right thing? Did I look needy? You go to work and you think, if I just impress my boss, maybe I'll finally feel valuable. And the truth? That mindset has chained you your whole life. You've built your entire identity around what other people think, instead of what you know to be true about yourself. You hand over your power every time you wait for validation, and the worst part is, you don't even realize you're doing it. This is the disease of modern men, approval addiction. And women smell it instantly. They test it, they exploit it, and they discard it. Because no matter what women say, they are not attracted to men who need their approval. They are drawn to men who stand rooted in their own standards, who don't bend just to be liked. This is why nice guys finish last. It's not because they're kind, it's because they're needy. Every joke they laugh at too hard, every time they agree just to avoid conflict, every time they say yes when they want to say no, they kill their own respect, and women feel it. The problem is deeper than women though, because when you live for validation, every decision you make is filtered through fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being disliked, fear of standing alone. That fear makes you weak, and weakness kills silent attractiveness. The truth is, you cannot be respected until you detach from validation completely. Not partially, completely. You must make a shift where the question changes forever. From, do they approve of me, to, do I approve of myself? When you flip that switch, you reclaim power. You stop chasing, and suddenly people chase you. You stop explaining, and suddenly people listen to you. You stop needing to be liked, and suddenly you're respected. But this doesn't happen overnight. Detachment is a practice, a daily battle with yourself. It begins with noticing where you're begging for approval. Notice when you hesitate to say your opinion because you're scared of backlash. Notice when you text back too fast because you fear being ignored. Notice when you wear clothes not because you love them, but because you want someone to compliment you. Notice these traps because they're chains, and the first step is to see them clearly. Then you must act. Start saying no without explanation. Start holding eye contact when you feel the urge to look away. Start dressing for yourself, not Instagram. Stop explaining your choices. Stop oversharing. Build the habit of doing what you respect, even if nobody claps. This is Stoicism applied. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That's not just philosophy, that's detachment. Because once you master it, you realize your life has been wasted in pursuit of approval that never mattered. Think back. Every time you got validation, it was temporary. That like, that compliment, that pat on the back, it faded instantly. And then you were hungry again, begging again, addicted again. The cycle never ends until you break it. When you detach, you free yourself. Women will notice instantly. They'll sense that you don't need them, and ironically, they'll want you more. Other men will respect you because you're not competing for scraps of approval like the rest. And most importantly, you'll respect yourself, maybe for the first time in your life. Imagine walking into a room and not caring if anyone looks at you, not caring if they laugh, not caring if they gossip, because you're locked into your own mission, your own code, your own respect. That is silent attractiveness. And if you're ready to detach from the endless cycle of chasing validation, if you're tired of being manipulated, overlooked, and drained by relationships that strip you of your power, then you need to take the next step and secure the Stoic relationship blueprint. I've linked it in the comments for you because this is not just another ebook. This is a guide you'll own forever, a blueprint you can return to whenever you feel yourself slipping, a weapon you can carry with you in a world that constantly tries to weaken men. Imagine having a resource that answers the questions you've been wrestling with alone. How do I stop being needy? How do I stop letting women's behavior dictate my emotions? How do I build relationships that don't cost me my dignity? This book gives you those answers, clear, practical, rooted in timeless Stoic wisdom, designed to put you back in control. And the best part? Once you have it, it's yours permanently. No one can take it from you. No woman can strip it from you. No situation can erase it. It becomes your blueprint, your foundation, your reminder that your worth is not found in validation, but in strength, discipline, and purpose. Don't wait for another heartbreak to wake you up. Take it now, lock it in, and give yourself permanent access to the knowledge that will change the way you live, love, and lead for the rest of your life. Number 2, prioritize strength, physical and mental. Strength is the foundation of everything, and the reason so many men today feel invisible, disrespected, and unwanted is because they have abandoned it. They have neglected their own physical power and mental resilience. They have become comfortable being weak, and society has lied to them by telling them that it's okay, that vulnerability alone is enough, that women will love them for just being nice. But look around you. Does it look like that lie is working? Do you see men who bought into that myth thriving, respected, admired? Or do you see them bitter, ignored, heartbroken, and living lives of quiet desperation? Because no matter how much the modern world sugarcoats it, the primal truth has not changed and will never change. People respect strength, women desire strength, and life rewards strength. And when I say strength, I don't just mean lifting weights or having big arms, though that matters too. I mean building a body and a mind that communicates one message every single time you enter a room. I am not weak. I am not fragile. I am not a man who can be broken. And when you radiate that, the world treats you differently instantly. Women test you less because they know you don't bend. Men respect you because they see you as someone who can endure. And most importantly, you begin to respect yourself because deep down you know that strength is earned. It is not faked. It cannot be bought. It must be forged day after day in sweat, discipline, pain, and persistence. And this is where most men fail, because they think strength is optional. They think they can compensate with charm or money or words. But all of that crumbles without the foundation of strength, because without it, you cannot command presence, you cannot hold frame, and you cannot endure the storms of life without being shattered. So if you want to be silently attractive, you must prioritize strength above everything else. You must treat your body and your mind as your greatest assets, because they are. And if you neglect them, you will pay the price in every area of your life. Let's talk physical strength first, because this is where weakness shows the loudest. when you are out of shape, when you cannot control your own body, when you are soft and slow and tired, you communicate to everyone around you that you are not disciplined, that you lack control, and women see it instantly, even if they never say it out loud. They know the difference between a man who trains and a man who doesn't, and while they may comfort you with lies, their attraction will always go to the man who embodies strength, because strength signals protection, dominance, and self-respect, and no amount of excuses will change this. You don't need to be a bodybuilder, but you do need to train. You need to push your limits. You need to carry yourself like a man who can endure physical hardship, because when you are physically strong, you move differently. Your posture is different. Your walk is slower. Your energy commands space without you trying, and people notice it even if they don't say it. That's why strength matters, because it cannot be faked. It is visible in your very presence. And if you're weak, you're betraying yourself every single day. Now, mental strength, which is even more rare and even more important, because a strong body without a strong mind collapses the first time life tests it. And make no mistake, life will test you. Women will test you. Business will test you. The world will throw rejection, betrayal, loss, and humiliation at you. And if you don't have the strength to stand firm, you will break like the majority of men do. Men who panic when things go wrong. Men who fold when they are challenged. Men who lash out, complain, cry, or quit the moment pressure arrives. And that is why they are ignored and disrespected, because no one looks to weak men for leadership. But when you are mentally strong, you radiate something magnetic. You become the man who stays calm in chaos, who doesn't flinch when insulted, who doesn't react emotionally to manipulation, who sees problems clearly while others are blinded by fear, and that presence is deeply attractive because it is deeply rare. And the question you must ask yourself is, how do I build this strength? And the answer is simple but not easy. You must deliberately seek discomfort. You must expose yourself to pressure instead of avoiding it. You must stop running from pain and start embracing it as the training ground for your mind. This is where Stoicism becomes essential, because the Stoics knew that life was suffering. They knew that emotions are wild and unreliable. They knew that strength of character is forged by enduring reality without illusions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That is the essence of mental strength. To stop expecting the world to be easy, to stop whining about fairness, and to accept hardship as the forge of your power. And the more you practice this, the more silently attractive you become, because people will sense in you an unshakable core. They will see that you don't bend under pressure, and they will respect it whether they admit it or not. But here is the controversial truth most men don't want to face. Weakness is a choice. You are weak because you chose comfort over challenge. You chose excuses over effort. You chose instant gratification over discipline, and women do not feel sorry for you. They are not built to feel sorry for weakness. They are built to be drawn to strength. And no matter what they say in public, in private, they will always gravitate to the man who is strong, which means that if you are weak, you will be used, disrespected, and discarded. Not because women are cruel, but because biology does not reward weakness. So stop complaining and start building. Go to the gym, push through resistance, stop running from hard conversations, stop folding when someone disrespects you, stop hiding from challenges, start deliberately choosing the hard path every day. Because every time you do, you are telling yourself, I am strong, I endure, I grow. And every time you avoid it, you are telling yourself, I am weak, I break, I quit. This is the truth men need to hear, but most never will, because it's easier to be coddled with lies than to face reality. But the men who face reality, who embrace the grind of building both physical and mental strength, they are the men who rise, who are respected without words, who are attractive without trying, who are leaders without demanding it. And that is the life you want if you are listening to this. And it begins today, not tomorrow, not when you feel like it, but now, because the longer you wait, the weaker you become. And every day of weakness is another day of disrespect, invisibility, and failure. So if you want to transform, prioritize strength, build it relentlessly, guard it jealously, and never apologize for it. Because in this world, nothing commands silent attractiveness more than undeniable strength, physical and mental, and if you master it, you will never be ignored again. Number 3. Speak less, mean more. Most men today kill their own power not because they lack intelligence or opportunities, but because they talk too much, they ramble, they explain, they justify, they beg through words for people to see their worth, and every time they do it, they weaken themselves further. Because in reality, the more you explain yourself, the more you expose your insecurity. And women especially can smell this weakness instantly when you're on a date and you're oversharing, telling her your whole life story, hoping she'll find you relatable. What she feels instead is that you're trying too hard, you're performing for her approval, and the more you talk, the less she respects you, because deep down she knows a man who is truly valuable doesn't need to convince anyone. His presence speaks before his words, and when he does speak, his words are chosen carefully, delivered slowly, and carry weight. And this is the reality most men don't want to face. They think talking more makes them interesting. They think filling silence makes them likable. But in truth, silence is more powerful than 1,000 empty words. Silence is the tool of the strong because it forces people to lean in, to wonder, to respect. And when you finally do speak, they listen, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it by withholding. So if you want to be silently attractive, you must learn to speak less and mean more. And this doesn't mean becoming mute. It means cutting out the nervous chatter. It means answering questions directly. It means letting silence hang without rushing to fill it. It means resisting the urge to overshare and understanding that mystery creates respect, because people are drawn to what they don't fully understand, but repelled by what is given away too easily. This is especially true with women, because women are used to men trying to impress them, telling them everything, flooding them with words and jokes and stories, hoping to stand out. And because of that, the man who doesn't overshare, the man who lets her do the talking, the man who only speaks when it matters, instantly stands apart. He forces her to wonder, to think, to chase. And this is where attraction builds, because she cannot figure you out. And humans are obsessed with what they cannot fully grasp. So your silence becomes your weapon. And when you do speak, your words must be precise, not scattered, not rushed, precise like a blade. This means eliminating filler language. It means cutting the and you know and like out of your speech. It means making statements instead of asking for permission with your tone. It means replacing nervous laughter with calm pauses. It means developing the habit of letting your words stand without apology. Because when you do this, people begin to take you seriously. They begin to measure your words with more weight, and you become a man whose speech carries impact. But here's the deeper truth. Learning to speak less and mean more is not about manipulating others. It's about mastering yourself. It's about conquering the inner need to be liked, the inner fear of silence, the inner compulsion to fill space so you don't feel invisible. Because when you conquer that, you project unshakable confidence, and confidence is magnetic. So the next time you feel the urge to talk, just to fill silence, stop yourself, breathe, hold eye contact, let the moment hang, and watch how uncomfortable others get, and notice how they respect you more because you did not flinch. That's the power of silence. And that's why the men who speak less and mean more are respected without trying, desired without begging, and remembered without effort, because their presence alone communicates what endless words never could. Number 4. Control your body language. Your body speaks louder than your mouth ever will, and most men today are betraying themselves before they even say a word, because their body language screams insecurity. It screams hesitation, it screams weakness, and the world sees it instantly. Women see it instantly, men see it instantly, and worst of all, you feel it. You know when you're slouching, when you're fidgeting, when your eyes dart around avoiding contact, You feel small, you feel invisible, and your body reinforces that to everyone else, which is why controlling your body language is non-negotiable if you want to be silently attractive. Because the truth is, no one listens to your words if your body contradicts them. You can say you're confident, but if your posture is bent and your hands are twitching, no one believes you. You can say you're calm, but if you're bouncing your leg and biting your nails, no one buys it. And women especially are hyper-attuned to body language because it communicates things words cannot. She knows if you're strong or weak, not by what you say, but by how you carry yourself. And the man who has mastered his body language commands respect without saying a single word. He stands tall, shoulders back, chin level. His movements are deliberate, slow, and controlled. He doesn't fidget because he doesn't need to. He doesn't dart his eyes because he's not hiding. He walks into a room with the calm confidence of a man who knows his worth, and people feel it immediately. But here's the painful truth. Most men sabotage themselves physically because they don't even realize their habits are betraying them. They hunch because they've lived their whole lives trying to take up less space, trying not to be noticed. They fidget because they're anxious. They avoid eye contact because they fear confrontation. And every one of those habits screams weakness. So if you want to transform, you must reprogram your body to communicate strength. This means training your posture daily, catching yourself when you slouch, pulling your shoulders back, opening your chest, standing tall as if you are proud of existing, because you should be. It means slowing your movements down, because fast, jerky movements communicate nervous energy, while slow, controlled movements communicate calm dominance. It means practicing eye contact until it no longer scares you, locking your gaze with someone when you speak and not looking away until you're finished. It means controlling your breathing, because shallow breaths signal anxiety, while deep, calm breathing signals control. It means walking with deliberate steps, not rushing, not shuffling, but moving as if you own the space you're in, because that communicates presence before you even speak. And this isn't about pretending. It's about rewiring your habits until they become who you are. Because once you carry yourself like a man who commands respect, people will treat you that way without question. Women will feel attraction without understanding why. Other men will treat you with deference without realizing why, because body language bypasses logic and goes straight to instinct, and instincts don't lie. And if you don't control your body language, the world will assume weakness, even if your words are strong, which means you lose before you even start. So understand this. Your body is your loudest voice. It's speaking constantly, whether you're aware of it or not. So make it say what you want it to say. Train it, discipline it, control it, and let it project strength and composure every second you exist. Because once you master this, you won't need to prove yourself with words. Your body will already have said everything that matters, and people will treat you with respect before your mouth even opens. Number 5. Master calm under pressure. Every man listening knows what it feels like to lose control in a moment of pressure. Maybe you've been in an argument with a woman, and she said something designed to trigger you, and instead of holding frame, you snapped. You raised your voice, you over-explained, you begged, or you walked away frustrated and broken, and afterward you hated yourself because deep down you knew she was testing you. Deep down you knew the right response was calm, collected, unwavering presence. But instead you gave her exactly what she wanted. Proof that she could pull your strings like a puppet. And this is the truth most men don't want to face. Women will test you not because they want to destroy you, but because it's in their nature to probe for weakness. And every time you fail that test, they lose respect for you. Every time you lose composure, you hand over power, not just with women, but with life itself. Because the world is chaos, business is chaos, relationships are chaos, and the man who can stay calm while everyone else loses their mind is the man who rises. And the man who cracks under pressure is forgotten, ignored, or worse, laughed at. Calm under pressure is not about pretending you don't feel anger or frustration. It's about mastering it, controlling it, owning it, so that when the storm comes you remain unshaken. And this is what separates weak men from strong ones. Weak men panic, strong men pause, weak men lash out, strong men calculate, weak men break down, strong men hold steady, and people sense it instantly. You've seen it yourself. Think about the leaders you respect. Think about the men who inspire loyalty. It's not because they're the loudest or the most emotional. It's because when everything goes wrong, they don't flinch, and everyone looks to them for stability. And this is exactly what makes a man silently attractive, because calmness is power. Calmness communicates that you are in control of yourself. And when you control yourself, you control the situation. But if you cannot control yourself, you will always be controlled by others. Women exploit this. They will say something disrespectful just to see if you react. They will create drama just to see if you lose composure. And when you do, they know they own you. But when you don't, when you remain calm, when you respond with measured words or sometimes no words at all, they feel something deeper. They feel respect. And respect is the root of attraction. Not love, not lust, not comfort. Respect. And respect is only given to men who remain unshaken. So how do you build this calm? You train it the same way you train your body, through exposure, through practice, through choosing discipline over emotion again and again. It starts small. When someone cuts you off in traffic and your instinct is to rage, you breathe, you let it go. When your coworker disrespects you and your instinct is to defend yourself immediately, you pause, you respond slowly. When your woman pushes your buttons and your instinct is to shout, you remain composed, you hold eye contact, you let her see that she cannot break you. And every time you do this, you rewire yourself. You become more unshakable and soon calm. Under pressure is no longer an act, it is who you are. And once it becomes who you are, everything in your life changes because people trust you, women respect you, men look up to you, and you respect yourself because you finally feel what true control feels like. And once you taste that, you will never go back to being the man who loses himself at the slightest test. Number 6. Dress with intent, not approval. The way you dress is one of the loudest messages you send without opening your mouth, and yet most men treat it like an afterthought. They either try way too hard, chasing trends, buying overpriced brands, showing off logos, hoping women will notice them, or they swing the other way and don't care at all, dressing sloppy, careless, like they've given up. And both are extremes of weakness, because both come from the same root: insecurity. The man who overdresses is begging for attention. The man who underdresses is signaling defeat. Neither commands respect. And women sense it instantly, because the truth is, women are not impressed by how expensive your shirt is if they can smell the neediness behind it. They are not drawn to you because of your sneakers. If they see you only bought them to fit in, they are drawn to men who wear clothes like armor, not decoration. Men who dress with intent, not approval. And dressing with intent means you're not trying to show off. You're signaling self-respect, discipline, and awareness. Your clothes fit well because you respect your body enough to wear things that align with it. Your shoes are clean because you respect yourself enough not to look careless. Your style is simple but deliberate because simplicity communicates confidence, while flashy excess communicates desperation. And this is where most men go wrong. They think women care about fashion, but women care about presence, and your clothes either reinforce that presence or betray it. Ask yourself this: if no one noticed what I was wearing, if no one complimented me, would I still wear it? If the answer is no, then you're dressing for others, not yourself. And every time you do that, you weaken yourself. You communicate that you need external validation. But when you dress with intent, you free yourself from that trap. You wear what makes you feel grounded, what aligns with your values, what reflects your standards, not society's, and people feel it. They may not even know why, but they sense it. And women especially feel it because it's rare. It's rare to meet a man who dresses clean, sharp, deliberate, but not for attention, not for approval, just because he respects himself, and that rarity is magnetic. This is not about chasing fashion trends. This is about developing a uniform of respect, neutral colors, tailored fit, shoes that last, accessories that are subtle but meaningful, dressing in a way that says, "I know who I am and I don't need to scream it with fabric." And the beauty of this is that it doesn't matter if your clothes are expensive or not, it matters how you wear them, because intent beats price every time. And once you shift your mindset from approval to intent, dressing becomes effortless. You stop stressing about impressing people, and you start enjoying the quiet power of walking into a room, knowing you look put together without having tried too hard. And that is silent attractiveness, because silent attractiveness is not about making noise, it's about presence. And the way you dress is one of the first signals of that presence. So stop dressing for validation. Start dressing with intent, and watch how differently people treat you. Not because of the brand on your chest, but because of the message your presence communicates. Number 7. Command respect with boundaries. Every man who struggles with respect in life, whether in relationships, at work, or even with friends and family, has one common problem: no boundaries, because when you lack boundaries, you are silently telling the world that your time, your energy, and your presence mean nothing. And people will always treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Women especially test this relentlessly. She cancels on you last minute and you smile and say it's fine. She disrespects you with words or actions and you brush it off, hoping she'll like you more for being understanding. She pushes to see how much of yourself you'll give up just to keep her around, and when you fold, when you allow it, she loses respect. Because deep down she knows that a man without boundaries is not a man she can admire, he is a man she can control, and attraction dies where control begins. And this is why so many men feel used and discarded, because they allowed it. They failed to draw the line. They failed to show the world that there are limits to what they will accept. And the truth is, boundaries are not about being harsh or cruel, they are about self-respect. They are about communicating through your actions that you value yourself so much that you will not tolerate what diminishes you. And this applies to every area of your life. If your boss disrespects you and you take it silently, you become the employee who gets walked on. If your friends use you for convenience and you keep saying yes, you become the man they never take seriously. If your woman tests you with disrespect and you swallow it, you become the man she eventually cheats on because she cannot respect you. Boundaries are not negotiable, they are essential, and the reason most men fail is because they are terrified of losing people, terrified of conflict, terrified of being alone. But here is the hard truth. A man who cannot walk away from disrespect is already enslaved, and slavery is never attractive. So, if you want to command respect, you must embrace boundaries as a way of life. You must be willing to say no without guilt, to enforce consequences without hesitation, to walk away without begging, because when you do this, you communicate strength in its purest form, and people feel it. They may not like it, but they respect it, and respect is far more valuable than approval. And if you're wondering how to build this in practice, start by identifying where in your life you are being used, where you are tolerating disrespect, where you are betraying yourself just to keep someone happy. Write it down, confront it, and then begin making small changes. If someone interrupts you, stop talking, pause, and resume when they're silent. If someone cancels plans on you last minute, don't rush to reschedule. Let them feel the weight of their own disrespect. If a woman tests you with games, don't argue or explain. Go silent. Let your absence speak, because your silence and your boundaries communicate louder than 1,000 speeches, and soon people learn you are not the man to play with. You are not the man to walk over, and that silent respect becomes your aura. It becomes your attractiveness, because deep down, people crave the presence of men who cannot be controlled, and once you embody this, you will never be seen as weak again. Number 8. Invest in competence. One of the biggest lies men have been sold is that image is everything, that if you look the part, if you flex status symbols, if you fake it, people will believe it. But the reality is, competence always reveals itself, sooner or later, and men who lack it are always exposed. Because when the pressure comes, when the challenge arrives, image collapses, and only skill remains. Competence is what separates the respected from the pretenders. It is what women feel in their gut when they're around a man who can handle things versus a man who only talks. And the tragedy is that most men today are hollow. They've built lives around appearances instead of substance, chasing clout, likes, and shallow validation. But when something real is demanded of them, when they must solve a problem, protect themselves, provide stability, they crumble, and that is why they are ignored, laughed at, or abandoned. Because no one trusts a man who cannot perform. No one follows a man who cannot lead through competence. No one respects a man who has nothing of value to offer. And women may tolerate you for a moment if you fake it. But the moment they realize you are all talk and no ability, their attraction dies instantly, because competence is the ultimate quiet status signal. It requires no bragging, no showing off. It simply speaks for itself. When you are skilled, when you know what to do, when you can deliver results under pressure, people know it without you saying a word, and that makes you magnetic. So if you want to be silently attractive, stop chasing appearances and start building competence. Invest in skills that matter, skills that increase your independence and value. Learn how to handle money so you're not enslaved to debt. Learn how to defend yourself so you're not afraid of confrontation. Learn how to communicate clearly so you're not manipulated. Learn how to build and fix so you're not helpless. Learn leadership so people naturally follow you. Competence is not just professional, it's personal, it's everything. And when you build it, you radiate quiet confidence, because you know in your bones that you can handle what life throws at you, and that energy is irresistible because competence cannot be faked. Women know it, men know it, you know it, and the only way to achieve it is to put in the work, hour after hour, year after year, until you no longer need to prove yourself, because your results speak for you. And once you reach that level, you will never have to beg for attention again, because competence commands respect in every room you enter, and it is one of the most powerful foundations of silent attractiveness, because the man who can do, the man who delivers, the man who has mastered himself and his craft, will always outshine the man who only talks, and the world will always reward him with respect, admiration, and loyalty without him asking. Number 9. Scarcity is power. One of the most painful truths men avoid facing is that the more available you are, the less valuable you become, and this applies to women, friends, co-workers, even family, because when your time, your energy, and your attention are constantly given away freely, people stop respecting it, they stop valuing it, and they start taking it for granted. And this is why so many men feel ignored and unappreciated, because they are always there, always answering texts instantly, always bending their schedule for others, always chasing after attention. And the world simply learns that they are cheap, that their presence holds no weight, and women especially exploit this because they know the man who is always available is the man who has nothing else going on. He has no mission, no priorities, no strength of purpose. He is desperate for her attention, and desperation kills attraction instantly, because women are not drawn to abundance of availability. They are drawn to scarcity of presence, because scarcity signals value. It signals that you are busy building, that you are occupied with something greater than her, and that she must earn her way into your world. And that dynamic changes everything. When you stop being constantly available, when you stop cancelling your plans just to fit into hers, when you stop answering every call instantly, when you stop making her your top priority above yourself, suddenly she feels the absence. Suddenly she realizes your attention is not free, and that scarcity makes her chase, because people crave what they cannot easily have. This is human psychology, and yet most men sabotage themselves by making their attention cheap, and then they wonder why they are overlooked. The solution is simple but brutal. Build a life that is so full of mission, discipline, and purpose that you genuinely do not have time to be constantly available. Stop revolving your existence around women. Stop letting friends drain your energy. Stop answering nonsense from people who add no value, and start protecting your time like it is sacred, because it is. When you do this, you communicate silently that you are valuable, that you are rare, that your presence must be earned, and that energy is magnetic. It will pull people toward you instead of you chasing them. And the irony is that when you finally stop being available for everyone, the right people start respecting you more. The wrong people disappear, and women who ignored you before suddenly feel the pull of your scarcity, because scarcity creates power. And if you want to be silently attractive, you must embody it fully, because nothing says value like a man who makes his time rare. Number 10. Lead without announcing it. Weak men are always the first to shout that they are leaders. They demand respect. They beg for control. They puff their chest out and declare their dominance. But true leaders never need to announce it, because leadership is not a title. It is not words. It is presence. It is action. It is competence combined with calmness. And when you embody these traits, people follow naturally without you needing to force them. And this is where most men fail. They think leadership is about barking orders, about controlling people, about forcing obedience. But that is weakness disguised as power. Real leadership is quiet. It is demonstrated in the way you carry yourself, in the way you handle responsibility, in the way you deliver results, in the way you do not flinch under pressure, and people sense it immediately. Women especially are drawn to men who can lead without saying a word, because leadership is rooted in security, and security is what women crave, not safety in the shallow sense. But the security of knowing that when chaos strikes, this man knows what to do, and you cannot fake that. You cannot bluff your way into it. It must be earned through competence, discipline, and purpose. And this is why leading without announcing it is one of the most powerful forms of silent attractiveness, because it draws loyalty, admiration, and respect without you begging for it. But to become this man, you must first stop trying to control everyone else and start mastering yourself. Stop demanding authority and start embodying it. Stop chasing validation and start building capability, because leadership is proven, not declared. It is proven when people choose to follow you because they trust you. It is proven when women relax in your presence because they feel your direction. It is proven when other men respect you because they see you can deliver. And if you want to lead without announcing it, you must live with purpose so strong that people are naturally pulled into your orbit. You must make decisions with clarity instead of hesitation. You must act with discipline instead of laziness. You must be consistent in your actions so people know they can depend on you. And the result is simple. People will follow, not because you told them to, but because you gave them no reason not to. And that is the mark of a true leader. Silent but undeniable, respected without demand, attractive without trying. Number 11. Carry purpose, not neediness. Every man who feels lost, weak, and invisible is living without purpose, and this is the root of nearly all male suffering. Because when you have no purpose, you fill the void with neediness. You make women your mission. You make approval your drug. You cling to relationships. You chase distractions. You drown in addictions, all because you have no higher aim guiding your life. And women sense this instantly. They may not say it, but they feel when a man has no direction, when his only mission is her, and nothing kills attraction faster than being a man whose world revolves around a woman, because she cannot admire that. She cannot respect it, because deep down she knows she should never be your purpose. She should be a part of your life, not the center of it. And the tragedy is that most men flip this dynamic completely. They abandon their mission, their goals, their growth, and they pour everything into her, thinking it will make her love them more, but all it does is destroy attraction, because no woman wants to be with a man she can control. No woman wants to carry the burden of being the reason he exists. She wants to feel pulled into a man's world, not become his world, and that's why carrying purpose is non-negotiable. If you want to be silently attractive, you must wake up every day with a mission that is bigger than women, bigger than validation, bigger than distraction, and it doesn't matter what it is. Building a business, mastering a skill, writing, training, serving, creating, what matters is that it consumes you, it drives you. It keeps you focused, because when you live with purpose, your energy changes, your presence changes, you move differently, you speak differently, you carry yourself with gravity, and people feel it. Women especially feel it, because purpose is rare. Most men are lost, most men drift, most men beg, but the man with purpose stands out instantly. And here's the thing, purpose is not found, it is built. You build it by identifying what you value, what makes you come alive, and then dedicating yourself to it relentlessly, step by step, day by day, through discipline and persistence. And when you do that, when you align yourself with a mission greater than yourself, you transform, you stop chasing, you stop begging, you stop being needy, and people chase you instead because purpose is magnetic. It is attractive in ways you cannot fake, and it will carry you through life with a sense of direction and fulfillment that no woman, no validation, no cheap thrill can ever give you. So carry purpose, not neediness, and you will not only become silently attractive, you will become unstoppable, respected, and remembered. If you've listened this far, you already know the truth. Weak men keep chasing, explaining, begging, and dying with regret, while strong men build themselves into someone who commands respect without ever asking. The choice is brutal but simple. Either you keep living the same cycle, invisible and ignored, or you take control now. And that's why I created the Stoic Relationship Blueprint, the ebook for men who are done wasting years being manipulated, disrespected, and overlooked. It's linked in the comments, and once you grab it, it's yours forever. Permanent access to the wisdom and tools that will transform how you live, love, and lead. No woman can take it away from you. No breakup can erase it. No failure can destroy it. This is your chance to finally step into the man you were meant to be. So if you're ready, comment. No more weakness below. Hit like and subscribe so more men can find these truths and save themselves from years of pain.